Well, hello everyone. It is I, your pal J.Ishiro, Finney, author and alien in a human suit, and the mind behind the utterly brilliant and informative Boobs of Steel. The pop culture book about the culture war that you should be reading and burying your face into it and motorboating the hell out of. Anyway, how are we all doing? Gen X hunger for the factory floor. Let them play the song of my people. Bang, 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 bang. Hell yeah, rivet heads. Absolute rivet head, motherfucker. You know, actually, I saw Sister Machine Gun play live twice, actually, but I saw them tour for that album. The Torture Technique is the name of the album. I saw them tour with the Chem Lab and KMFDM. Best concert I ever saw. Anyway, let's see. They're doing it again. 1984 is getting. Please tell me you're kidding. Edited for modern. You mean the book? Are they? I know they were talking about editing 1984 for modern audiences. Is that really happening? I mean, these people are just fucking retarded. There's no other way. There is no other way to look at it. These people are fucking retards. I mean, you have to be a complete fucking idiot to think that, oh, well, we need to edit 1984 for modern audiences, because that'll make it better and safer or whatever the fuck. He goes so counter to what the book's about, it pretty much proves his point that, certain people just want to fuck you and ruin everything for the rest of us and decide what the rest of us can look at and enjoy, see, hear, say. And really, the only solution for those kinds of people is probably the guillotine or baseball bats in the face. But, before I get in trouble with YouTube for saying things like hitting people in the face with baseball bats, because, of course, I all say this is all in jest, absolutely. I would never encourage you to go out there and beat the crap out of it. Well, maybe I would. Anyway, how are we? So what'd you guys think of the Midnight Caller story I posted to the Discord? For those of you who checked it out, I actually submitted that to Sir Sova, so hopefully it'll get printed. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody at all. Hello. Oh, Damien, how you doing? Good afternoon. Ordered the paperback. Oh, nice. Of Boobs of Steel. Completed a workout of doing 50. Wow. Good for you, man. Very good for you. And thanks for checking out the book. I look forward to hearing what you think. As always, if you so desire to help out a little more, please absolutely review it. We've got 6 reviews now on Amazon, which is good, which is definitely good. But unfortunately, that's the way it is that really for those to affect the algorithm, you need roughly 25 to 50. And I couldn't tell you the exact number because they keep fucking changing it. So, yeah, the more the better, essentially. More reviews will help the algorithm let people know who should read it, kind of push it in the right direction. Okay, you already left a review for the digital edition. Okay, let me check. Well, they're both, the reviews show up on both print and digital, so it doesn't really matter. Actually, the one that surprises me is the book. You can read it for free on Kindle if you're a Kindle Prime member, and nobody's done that. Okay, so we have reviews from Phoenix Rising, Trenton, Richard, Batista, and Seth. So I'm guessing you're Seth. And Nicole F's in there too, but I know who that is. Hey, did Kat read my paper? Did she like it? I don't know. I'll have to ask her. She hasn't mentioned anything to me. I know that you guys have been sending her stuff for a while for edits, but she's been pretty buried right now, trying to promote Boobs of Steel. I mean, now that the book is published, it's kind of that's more her job than mine. I promote it as much as I can, but really the ball's in her court now to get the word out. And so that's been consuming a lot of her time. And that and setting up her man cave. I've told you about that, right? That she set up a man cave for herself in the garage. That her workshop is no longer just a workshop. She's got this like lounge area with chairs and the boombox. She's going to get a throw rug in there. Now all we need is a girly calendar, and it'll be complete. That and maybe like a neon sign for some brand of alcohol. I think that would complete the look, in my opinion. And maybe we can find a neon sign for Jack Daniels. I don't know. This is Rico saying, steal the rich women's jewels and sell them to pay off the bills. If they want to redistribute the wealth, let's start at the source. Besides, they didn't look good on them anyway. Yeah, I kind of agree. Oh, so you're Batista. Okay. Hey, thank you very much. I think you were one of the first to post a review then. So, yeah, the thing is, I'm on the air today because, unfortunately, the guy who decided to explode the stumps out of his yard, those explosions have not really left me yet. Kind of fucked me up. I'm still like fatigued as all hell because of it, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm not entirely functional. So of course, when I'm not entirely functional, I do what I always do, which is subject you to it, because I know that you appreciate hearing my dysfunction. It's just the way it is. It's a rule or something. Or I don't know, maybe it isn't. So how many of you are following me on Twitter now since I have gone back to the sludge hole? The thing is I'm on Twitter and I'm spending time there because I have to promote the book, and the way you draw attention to yourself is go on Twitter and say shit. But I got to be honest, it's kind of a drain. It's depressing going there. Today's not so bad because Mark Hamill told everyone to boycott or something. So all these stupid woke people aren't there today, and Twitter's actually kind of good. Instead of a man cave, would it be the cleavage cave? That's not a bad idea. Maybe that's what we have a sign over the door, the cleavage cave. Oh, yeah, Twitter X, like the X-Men. X Twitter. I like that. How about X Twitter? Watching a video of Annabelle Peaks with... I have no idea who Annabelle Peaks is. Let's see. Oh, hey, Maiden. How you doing? Titter still won't let me... But really? What was it you said that got them so pissed off? What enraged them? Didn't most everyone get reinstated once Elon came back? Or Elon took over or whatever? I don't know. Oh, it's called X because Gen Xers took over. Well, that actually is a fair observation. But then again, I don't know. Twitter was a different place before Tumblr shit all over it. You were tweeting while conservative. Cat, quick Ishi, to the cleavage cave. That's a great line. I like that. X name for Twitter. Dumb but funny for memes. Yeah, it is. It was brilliant. I think that they could have had a better logo. I think he should have gone for more like an X-Files typewriter jagged X rather than the weird... I don't know. It looks like the kind of X you'd see on a brand of alcohol or something. Malt liquor. Something trying to be classy but isn't. Okay, so Annabelle Peaks is exactly what her name sounds like. So what is she, a podcaster, a model, someone you just know? I'm not up on these things. Sorry, I've been reading OG Arsini Lupin. Oh, good. That's a good thing to read. No wonder Monkey Punch used it for manga. Okay. Although I admit, it being French is a letdown. Well, what do you mean? No wonder Monkey Punch used it for his manga. Used what? You mean the original Arsini? I do actually cover Monkey Punch quite a bit in Boobs of Steel on the chapter about Japan. There's a whole thing about Fujiko in there. Annabelle Peaks is a former porn star. Is she big boobs, decent tats, built okay? Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw you posted that. Enjoy. I hope you enjoy it. I would say maybe aside from Boobs of Steel, that is the project that I worked the absolute hardest on. And just doing Case File Arkham 1 and 2, each book took almost a year to do. And it was a writing process. The second one was easier than the first, but I really struggled and stressed over every goddamn line written in that book, or both those books, for one reason and one reason alone. And that was I wanted to get that 1940s noir dialogue just right without it sounding cliche or becoming a parody. So many people overdo the noir, style dialogue because it is a pastiche. It's a style. No one actually talks that way, but it's part of the genre. And I've seen so many people do it badly that I was just stressing over every line to make sure that it read authentic. I spent 2 years watching nothing but 40s noir films during that time and listening to old time radio to listen to how people talked and what words were used. Experts versus conspiracy theorists. Is that a topic you want, or? Because right now, the experts are batting 0-0 as far as their predictions are concerned, whereas I would say the conspiracy theorists are scoring about a 60% accuracy rate. So, at this point, if it turns out that George Soros really is a lizard under that skin, I'd only be a little bit surprised. I mean, at this point, so many of the conspiracy theories turned out to be true. I kind of would believe it. It just wouldn't be the shock it used to be. I mean, the thing was, I think with Gen X, so many have seen UFOs. We've been so surrounded with UFOs that I think when the government finally said, "Oh, well, aliens are real, UFOs do exist," everyone was like, and okay, where's the revealing part? We know that part, and okay, just read Midnight Caller. I liked it, and I could see it being continued in a few formats. How you could not love the idea of fridge raiding aliens. Well, there is a kind of a slight inside joke there, and for ages now, part of gray alien mythology, the mythos is that they like strawberry ice cream. There were claims that the EBE-1 or EBA-1, EBE-1 at Roswell, the one that supposedly survived, one of the few things that it ate or liked was strawberry ice cream. And then there have been occasionally, now these are weirdos, don't get me wrong. These aren't ones you would necessarily take seriously, except there had been close encounter reports where people said they were paralyzed in their house and then Grays came in and took their ice cream and left. And it was, of course, strawberry. And then there was another one where a military guy I don't even know where the footage is from, said, look, I don't see the aliens. I don't talk to the aliens. Look, all I do is go out and buy stuff and bring it back to the base. If they say strawberry ice cream, I bring them strawberry ice cream. Now, what was the context of that? I couldn't tell you, but it is a hilarious video. Sounds like my internal stress on comics art I'm doing. Now, how's that going? How is your art, Star Storyteller? We haven't talked in a while, face to face or by voice. You doing any good? How's your progress? I know that you were doing pretty good there for a while. Nice avatar. Yeah, I found another one. I thought this one was a little more fitting. Believe it or not, this is actually kind of like what the ones in my dreams looked like. Was like this. Aliens Love Ice Cream. Wow, Raltz nailed that one. Yeah, I thought that's why he wrote that in there. I think that was just his humor. I don't think that was intentional. Nothing but peanut butter brittle. This planet's a bust. Are we going to celebrate the demise of feminist frequency? I doubt Anita Scamkezian has totally left the video game industry. Well, my take on it is that she's already burned down comics and video games and realized that there was nothing left to torch and shut down feminist frequency. She tried hopping on the trans bandwagon and that didn't work. And then she tried jumping on BLM and that didn't work. I've got a suspicion of what her next grift is going to be, but I don't feel like mentioning it. But yeah, I think she's looking for something new to grift off of, and I've got a suspicion of what it is. Just from shit she said. All right. Going through your comments. Okay. He used Arsene Lupin for his manga, Lupin the Third. Also, Fujiko is a two-timing bitch, but damn, she's well written. She's a powerhouse. Plus, she's got some major league yavos. Talk about double Ds. Oh, I think they're more than double Ds. But as far as Fujiko is concerned, originally, apparently Monkey Punch wanted it to be that each story was going to be like James Bond. There was a new girl on Arsene's arm, but he didn't really have time to do character design and concept design. So after a while, it just was Fujiko all the time. But I did a lot of research into that whole thing when I was doing the first Boobs of Steel book. Actually, hold on. Let me go get my copy. For those of you who order the print edition, you get a nice picture of Fujiko in the chapter. At some point, maybe I'll sit down and try to convert all these graphics to a format that Kindle likes. But I got to be honest with you, it's a big pain in the ass because Kindle does not play well with graphics. But here we go. If the birth of anime can be traced back to a cold morning in 1963 when The Mighty Atom was broadcast across Japan, then the Boobs of Steel trope was soon to follow. While there were no busty warriors to be found in Isamu Tezuka's ultra-wholesome story about a robot boy with machine guns in his butt, the same cannot be said for Monkey Punch's Lupin the Third, which hit airwaves roughly 8 years later. And then I get into the fact that Fujiko Mine is the first anime Boobs of Steel ever to kind of enter the genre. So you can trace the Boobs of Steel trope in Japan for anime to Lupin the Third. That was the first. I can't say conclusively from manga because there was so much of it being published, and maybe there was someone else that my access to getting 1970s manga from Japan is not really digging up all the old mangas themselves of like Lupin was a pain in the ass to find. And there was stuff that never got translated. Like I talk about a spin-off character from Cyborg 009. And that is 009-1, which is a female version. And she was another early Boobs of Steel character. Her tits actually hide machine guns. And tracking that down and getting an image of that was such a pain in the fucking ass to find any of that book that was available in the US, because it never got brought over here. You got Moxie, kids. See? Well, yeah, exactly. See, now people did talk like that back then, but that's a cliche now. So unfortunately, there are certain lines in noir that were legitimate lines back then, but you can't use anymore because they've become so cliche that people just laugh. Or they've taken on new meaning, like that's a real boner. That just doesn't mean what it used to. Or, oh, they were so happy and gay. That was another one. We're going to have a real gay time, see? I mean, there's this great scene in Vertigo by Hitchcock. And there's a scene where, I forget the characters' names, but Jimmy Stewart's there with his girlfriend in the art studio, and she's talking about the old days in San Francisco. Oh, that was back in the old days when San Francisco was so fun and gay. Yeah, that line just can't help but elicit laughter when it's said now. Okay, let's see. Going through your comments. Yes, Sarkeesian might try to leech on to manga. She's tried a few times, but she's not very good at it. She may try for the Greta Thunberg, as Romando put it. She may go for that if she can, because that really does seem to be something that she'd jump on board with. But I don't think that's divisive enough, honestly. No, she might become a pedo defender. That's entirely possible. The kid mutilation angle. Anita gets referenced by dogshit video game writers like some authority. I know. I think she travels around and tries to make money on her appearances too. Yeah, she does. Okay, I'll give you a hint. I don't want to go. No, I don't want to bring up where she's going to go, because then you guys will start asking me to talk about this shit again. And frankly, I don't really feel like it. She's made a few hints towards her next cause is going to be anti-Semitism. I've seen her throw that around more than a few times in the last year, and it just seems like that might be her next grift. Ishii, are anti-heroes necessary, or are they a product of contrarianism? Well, it depends on what you mean by anti-hero. I mean, that has gotten blurred, what we really mean by that. Initially, the anti-hero was a villain who, for whatever motives, ends up being in a heroic role. The most common being is that he's fighting people worse than him. But then it also kind of came to mean someone who is morally gray, like Snake Plissken. And, Snake Plissken lives by his own code, but he lives in a world where everyone but him is corrupt. He's the only person in that entire world, other than maybe Hoke, who is honest about who he is and what they're about. Everyone else is a fraud and a con artist. So no, anti-heroes can work. You could say that, what was it? The Joker film had an anti-hero. Did the double 09-1 get released here? That was the new anime, not the older one, right? Because that's a property that started in the 70s, I believe. No, well, she's tossed that around a few times now, and it just seems like that's going to be her new grift. Thank God she's going to manga. I already have enough censorship, change of translation. Yeah. Yeah, Kenny Lauderdale has a great channel. He talks a lot about lost media. It was the only release. Yeah. Well, the 009-1 series is available in Japan in reprints. It's just not easy to get a hold of, and you can't get it here. Is what it comes down to. Which is a shame because the concept sounds great. It's a cyberpunk type setting with secret agents and super spies, but the entire world has a swinging 60s vibe to it. And I thought that was kind of cool. So kind of retro futurism. What can we say? Anita goes where the money is. Well, don't you remember that when she was first getting criticized by like Sargon and Milo, and she started becoming a target because she was shitting on everyone's fun, she immediately went towards the "oh, you're oppressing me" anti-Semitism scream, and she kept accusing people of being white supremacists. Remember? But no, I think she's pretty much done with burning down media for the time being. There's nothing left. What's left to destroy? Seriously. And she found that it was hard for her to get traction with anime for a lot of reasons. Although, man, does she hate the Japanese. The amount of really racist shit she's said about the Japanese. But it's okay, you see, because, she's of a more oppressed group, so it's all right. And I think, what was it? She had said basically the Japanese were just, what was it? Lapdogs to American imperialism and capitalism. Funny that the Japanese created a female James Bond with 009-1. Meanwhile, Eon Films can't decide what skin color that. Yeah. I don't know. What skin color to give James Bond? They can't stop themselves, can they? They are going to woke themselves all out of existence. They're going to go broke because they cannot stop themselves. It's amazing that we've found something that is greater than Hollywood's greed, and that is woke communism. They're more in love with this woke postmodernist commie ideology than money. Who would have thought? And I think they're going to ride that bitch right off a cliff and into hell. Have you seen that awful art grift Andrew Tate, $97? Yeah, speaking of chosen people, God, there's a motherfucker. Andrew Tate, what a piece of shit. That guy is a con artist through and through. The worst thing about Tate is the damage he's doing because, basically he's preying upon young men who are in need of a mentor figure because there are so many homes where boys don't have a dad. Thanks, Mom. There's so many single mom households where there was a divorce, so dad can't see his kids. And we've got an entire population of young men who need father figures, and Andrew Tate is very predatory. He sells them a very attractive lie, gains money off them, and basically kind of indoctrinates them into this very, very unhealthy lifestyle and mindset that it's not going to do them any good in the long run. But, that is one thing about con artists like Tate and Sarkeesian. You go down the list. They profit off the suffering of others. They profit off destroying someone else's life. They're all like that. All con artists. Okay. Have I seen the revival for Takashi's Castle? No, I haven't. You know, we had the DVD set for MXC, and the fucking things rotted. They were so cheaply pressed. I am pissed. We had the entire run on DVD. Yeah, I want those back, damn it. MXC was the best. Takashi's Castle. So are they reruns or are they remaking it? I'm not getting any graphics here. Would love to see MXC make a comeback, but that wouldn't be allowed. Man, yeah, the humor in that was so politically incorrect. It was great. Tate had it good until he ran face first into the bigger, slyer con artists, the Romanian government. You know, Andrew Tate doing a comic book is more moronic than when The Situation had his own comic. I mean, why the fuck would anyone want to read that to begin with? And for that matter, do his fans even fucking read? Indeed, Ishii, the woke rely heavily on changing, ruining IPs and industries, whereas Japan and most indie creators create. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The con artist routine goes as follows. Show up, identify a problem that doesn't exist, scream and yell and get everyone upset, cause division, and then say, I can solve it, but you got to pay me. That's the con artist routine. And in the end, everyone gets fucked but them. They run away with your money. And that is across the board. That is the con artist routine, is to make a problem that doesn't exist and then offer to solve it. Hell, that's the World Economic Forum. It's the same fucking grift. Hey, the world's going to end in 2 years because things are hot in the summer, and you got to give us all your money and freedom so we can fix it. Or yeah, you know, we're going to all change the weather by eating bugs. Go fuck yourself, guys. Seriously. The World Economic Forum has made predictions since 1973, and not a one of them has been correct. Not a single fucking one. And even the things they implement don't go very well. Okay. Think about how Star Trek is basically a post-scarce society left idealized, yet SJWs had to break it down and make it a terrible place with modern problems. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Leftists don't want to be happy. They want to hate people. They want to feel justified in hurting other people. They want to feel morally righteous in abusing others. They're scum. Didn't The Situation bomb badly at the Trump roast on Comedy Central? I didn't see it. I couldn't tell you. Okay, so it is a revival, so it's new, the Takashi's Castle. But yeah, you're right, Underworld Dream. They always went on and on. The left always went on and on about that was the future they wanted. But the moment they get to write Star Trek, what do they create? A dystopian shit show. Bugs are less efficient than chickens by every metric. Space, nutrition, food. Leather Apron has a video. Yeah, well, none of these things are ever well thought out. I mean, keep in mind, Bloomberg, Mayor Michael Bloomberg, former mayor of New York, is a member of the WEF, and that guy got up in front of everyone and said anybody can be a farmer. I can be a farmer. The fact that he thinks that shows how disconnected from reality he is. I mean, farming is really fucking hard. And as the Zimbabweans and the South Africans have now learned, it takes more than physical labor to be a farmer. You actually have to have intelligence and understand all sorts of things like horticulture, weather, climate. It's interesting how much knowledge farming requires. So, when they killed off all their white farmers in these nations, they were shocked that the crops didn't grow. It's like, well, yeah, you just can't throw the seeds out there and expect them to do their thing. Don't forget the Chaz with the community garden. Yeah, well, yeah, they were planting on cement. Fuckheads. I don't know. The left has no concept of reality. The leftist concept of reality is we'll all agree on this, and that's what it is. Until the first plague actually comes through, and then they're fucked. Okay, let's see. Liberals and woke. LLK, all deep down want to have aristocracy like in France, even if they lie about hating it. Well, that's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. The thing that got me in San Francisco is every time I met somebody who was communist, it was usually some female boomer, cat lady, okay, or some prick college student who had never worked a day in their lives, usually female again, strangely, who had this weird idea that they would be the leaders of the revolution and all the black people in Oakland would do the fighting for them and the labor. I mean, they seriously thought this. They thought, oh yeah, well, the gangs in Oakland will be our shock troops. Have you consulted with them? Have you asked them about this? The garden is for people of color and our plant allies. Well, they are vegetables. The people at the chop were vegetables. Actually, no, they were tools. All of them. Some of them were even hoes. Okay. I guess anyone can be a farmer. Just look at Antifa with their pizza bot crop plots. Okay. Communism is good at tricking stupid people, especially stupid people who went to college and have a piece of paper that tell them they're smart. At this point, there's no reason to go to college at this point. Go to a trade school, learn something useful. Anything that you could get out of a college now or that you could have gotten from a college in the past, you can learn yourself online. Hell, you want to learn about critical thinking and philosophy? Well, easy. Just go to Jordan Peterson's website and watch his lectures. You want literature? Go to another person's website that does literature. I mean, it's already out there. It's easy for you to find. You don't have to worry about paying for it or teachers and their weird bullshit. You don't have to kiss anyone's ass and tell them what they want to hear. You don't even have to worry about hanging around dumb communists. All right. So, give me something else to talk about. Oh, well, there you go. You got a good job without a degree, Owen. I was just watching a video with someone doing a sustainable garden, and this woman had to wait 2 years before it was viable to live off of. Well, there you go. Yeah. Sustainable is such a bullshit word. They say that, but they mean something else. When they say sustainable, they don't mean sustainable. And another thing is if you look at environmental policy and the stuff that environmentalists have pushed, it's never consistent. It's always, well, we need to do this to stop the world from dying. And if they get their way, it goes through, nothing changes, and then they jump to the next thing. So, well, we need to do this and ban this to save the world. It never pans out. Ever. You know how the environmentalists are always bitching about plastic bags? We got to get rid of plastic bags. You know, in the 70s and 80s, it was we got to get rid of paper bags because they're destroying our forests. We need plastic bags. And that was the environmentalists' fault. The environmentalists pushed that policy. And once they got their way, 10 years later, now it's, oh, well, wait a minute. This is bad. We need to go back to either paper bags or bringing your own sack. These fuckers hijacked ecology hard, ruined what could have been legitimate science with their own woo. Yeah, exactly. I did buy the PDF version of Boobs of Steel and my copy of Riff's Titan Robots and the Iron Age magazine one. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. Dumbasses never heard of a lumber yard. Yeah. Or the fact that, they wanted to get rid of paper bags because of forests, right? But paper bags, biodegradable, recyclable, and renewable. These people are fucking idiots. These are the same idiots that want to go swim with the fucking seals and then get mauled, which is actually pretty funny, actually. That is always kind of wonderful when you get these eco freaks that go out and try and live their Adam and Eve fantasy in the woods and end up getting eaten by a bear or starving to death or freezing to death. So how long will the Writers Guild film actors strike last? Studios already gearing up to cancel stuff due to act of God clauses. You know what? I don't think it's going to end. I don't think Hollywood's going to change course. I don't think Hollywood can afford to give them more money or to agree to their terms at this point. I think Hollywood's going to basically cut their losses, hire scabs, and use AI. And it's just them continuing to circle the drain. It's just one more step down. Like I said, they're going to ride this train right off the cliff and straight to hell. Living through 90s environmentalism stuff was really annoying. Hey, the power is yours. Captain Planet fucking said so. Thoughts on AI generated lore narrations by dead actors? You know what? That's kind of fucked. That is fucked. People should have a right to their identity. So no, I don't think that's okay. And that's it. Is it someone sounding like Attenborough, or is it narrated by Attenborough? I don't know. Permaculture and co-planting. Now there's a rabbit hole. I always hated Captain Planet for getting SWAT cats canceled. Yeah, well, Captain Planet was the dream, was created by Ted Turner, and it was his bid to change the world as eco-propaganda, that he was going to indoctrinate kids into environmentalism. So he made a really gay cartoon. I don't know. I never cared for Captain Planet. I found it really moronic, and it felt like it was really talking down to kids. So it was very much that they thought you were a complete moron. That and all the kids look kind of creepy. Did you notice that? Okay. A gay cartoon with an AIDS episode. Really? There's several cases near me where hippie types go into the wild areas to go back to nature and disappear. One hippie, yeah, that happens. What do you think AI scripts are going to look like? I think they're going to look like a copy paste. I think it's really just going to be formula to the extreme, and that it's probably going to come across as awkward and stilted. And I say that because it isn't just going to be, okay, AI, here's a bunch of really good movies. Extrapolate from this all the things that made this film work and collage me together a film that'll have the same resonance. I still don't think that would really work very well, but you'd probably get a more decent result if you did that. You're not going to get that from Hollywood. They're going to get the AI and they're going to tell it what they think the movie should be and to tell it to write it. So it's going to have to appeal to all ages. It's going to have to be feminist and woke, and it's going to have inclusivity, and it's going to have all this shit, and it's going to have minimum violence, and and what you're going to get is going to be so confused and so just bizarre. I don't know. Actually, it might be pretty funny. It might produce, something equivalent to the butt steak deal. I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? Why? Why does this exist? But yeah, what is it? You're getting the equivalent of a million monkeys with a million typewriters. But yeah, it's not that they're just going to ask a machine to write a film that will copy more successful films. They're going to want it to have all their weird little hang-ups and politics and wokeisms included. And as we've seen already with ChatGPT, woke ideology is so broken and so illogical, the machines are crashing and shutting down because it's just program error. It cannot meet, the parameters are impossible. Amazon's Ring of Power was an AI script. You cannot convince me otherwise. It's possible. But I don't know. At that point, if you can have an AI do it, why don't you just start cutting up scripts, putting it into a hat, and start pulling out various bits of the script and putting them all together again? Is Morta going to give 5 teenage hippies element-based superpowers in the next World War Kaiju? Modra. No. Although I am going to bring up hippies. That is going to come up. Modra can't die. Modra keeps coming back and keeps getting murdered horribly every time she comes back. But the second incarnation of Modra is going to be all psychedelic. It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times. Exactly. I heard the Barbie movie was accidentally based with Ken. Couldn't answer that. Have not seen it. Don't plan to see it. Won't see it. Margot Robbie is just once again evidence that pretty blonde actresses just shut up and act and not try and actually produce or write or have any say in the creative process. Actors should fucking act. It's a rare day that an actor can do anything else, okay? There are very few actors that can do it all. And, let's face it, most actors spend their lives pretending to be someone else. Well, I do say, though, I think that the AI will not be any worse than what we're currently getting. AI art looks like it's getting better, but now there's a controversy over their flooding convention art. Yeah, that's true. And the thing is AI art, it looks good, I guess, but it all has the same look to it. it's gotten to the point where you can look at something and say, yeah, an AI did that. And I'm not just talking that you look at the fingers and they're a mess. I mean, just look like an AI did that. Can you give me recommendations for storms for the guy saves? I don't know what that means. Recommendations for storms for the guy. Stories for heroic men and damsels in distress. Conan? Conan does that. A lot of lay bracket stories do that. I don't know. What do you guys say? Either too glossy or too hazy. Yeah, that's true. And there's kind of a mathematical precision to them that just looks kind of off. That, and it doesn't seem to really understand depth and field of depth. Okay, well, I've been on for 55 minutes. Unless you give me another topic to tackle real quickly, I think I may call it an afternoon. But again, thank you to everyone who has reviewed Boobs of Steel. Thank you to everyone who has purchased Boobs of Steel. I anxiously await feedback from all of you because there's another book on the way. And yeah, Barsoom, that's a good choice, Cesario. But yeah, I mean, even though a huge chunk of book 2 is already done for Boobs of Steel, I have a few chapters to write and I can still include stuff. So feedback now, it would be very, very good. If you feel like there's something I didn't cover or something you want to know more about, now's the time to bring it up. Wouldn't mind learning how AI works. Well, AI works by basically scanning the web and seeing what everyone else did and then collaging together its own version. Black Amazon of Mars is fucking great. That is a good story. Hold on. I'm going to pull up a YouTube reading of it that is really good. Ignore the graphic because, I don't know, for some reason the graphic, they decided to make her actually black when she's not. She's pale and it's her armor that's black, but give me a second. Trying to find a... Sursova actually did a pretty good reprint of the book as well. That has illustrations in it. Oh, come on, seriously? Let's see if Google does better. Yeah, I like DuckDuckGo, but it's, I don't know, it's coming up short a lot lately. Maybe not. Maybe I can't find it. I was hoping I could suggest it, but no. No luck. No luck at all. So here's a question. You guys, any of you guys still listening to Tim Pool? I'm kind of got to the point where he can't seem to decide what his opinion is. It seems like every video starts with him having one opinion and then shifting to the complete opposite by the end and pretty much saying both things will happen. Wow, I'm supremely annoyed. I cannot find this on a search. Seems like YouTube searches are getting shittier too. Because, yeah, I punch in Black Amazon of Mars and it's giving me a whole bunch of shit about Anne Rice. Okay, one more search, and if it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up. Nope. Oh, there it is. Found it. Finally. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know why this was such a bitch to find. Okay, again, ignore the image they picked because Kieran is not black, but this is a great live or audio performance read by two people, male and female, for Black Amazon of Mars. Tim is a legendary fence sitter and pissed me off, and I'm at the point where I'm willing to call him a grifter for it. He is a grifter. I mean, and he's a chicken shit too. He is absolutely a chicken shit. He will not stand by anything. And then when it becomes safe, he'll say, "Yeah, I always supported it," or "Yeah, see, we're right." It's like, shut up, Tim. You were against it. Remember how long he kept going, no, the media is good. I know people in the media. They're good people. Now he's screaming the media is evil. I actually found a new style of art medium. Artists that AI program have a very hard time copying, if not at all. Chicken Man is pasteurized Owen Benjamin. All right, well, there is a link once again to a very good reading of Black Amazon of Mars by Leigh Brackett. Once again, please, if you have not, order Boobs of Steel. You can read it free on Amazon Prime or read it digitally for $3. Or if you want the fully stacked experience with an extra 36 pages, get the print edition. Because it's got tons and tons of drawings and graphics in it and some extra text content. The fact that you noticed Tim was turning into a doomsday prepper with a self-sufficient van is hilarious. His van by the river. All right, everyone. Talk to you later.